My orders were to act as Asagi-san's bodyguard. Oh. It was Minister of Justice Chikoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. He entrusted me with ensuring that Asagi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Oh, okay. I am seeing a possibility over here. My mind is going wild over here. I am thinking. I am thinking. Like we were talking about the special mission that Kazuma was entrusted with. Maybe it has something to do with the English peace treaty and such. And if somebody were to disturb that, aka assassinate Kazuma, so that things will go even more complicated with the English peace treaty, that would be really bad on the English peace treaty in the first place. If somebody were to assassinate him, somebody who doesn't like that. Mr. Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. Because some other nationalities would not want that, since this English peace treaty would basically mean like reuniting Japan's and Great Britain's powers and such. That will lead to an even greater power. And other nationalities, they would not want that. So maybe that's a reason. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asagi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning till night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Sagi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Nah, I wouldn't apologize. I would not apologize. In your eyes. It is because of the killer, after all. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Okay then. Well, in that case, we're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought he might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer. Of course not. We really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yeah, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door, that stormy-looking seaman there will surely snap your neck in two. Yeah, how convenient. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I can to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. I don't see how. Well, I mean, you yourself can investigate. I mean, that way we would have to rely on Hasanaga to do the investigating, without actually seeing the cabin ourselves. I mean, it's not really anything new to me, personally, to investigate something without looking at things with my own eyes. Like, me investigating like a mystery without relying on my eyes and having to rely on my mind, like imagining possibilities and working with the evidence that I have. That's something that I've been doing for a really long time now. Like, us, as I said, me and Ryonosuke investigating this room ourselves with our own eyes, with evidence like all around the place. That to me feels like a foreign concept after such a long time. But, okay, well, you know what, we can actually give Hosonaga the permission to investigate by himself, and we would have to rely on him to give us the stuff. What? Really? I mean, Susato, you can investigate the room as well.
Think how you try to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession.
Evidence?
It's just the same when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel.
Present? Yeah, like, you know, I would like me some presents.
And choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright. Yeah, I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Okay. It does make me question, like, what evidence I can use. Like, okay, we use this paper seal to tell Susato that, well, it couldn't have been Ryonosuke since he was in the wardrobe like all the time, and you cannot put the seal if you are inside. Like, I guess you could show this to crew members to convince them the same way. But I don't think that this is what we're talking about over here. Oh, hold on. Oh my god, now I remember. Like, this is what we have done, like in the adventures, like a long time ago. I actually forgot about this. Like, we go to people and we present them like all random stuff to see what thoughts they have on some of this stuff. Wow, now I remember. Like, yeah, look at this shiny color pin that we have right over here. Isn't it so cool? Look at this, Hosonaga. Yeah, I remember now. I remember now. I thought that it's like one of those situations where we have to present the evidence, like in court or something like that. But no, this is the investigation part, just like in the other. We can show this to Detective Gumshoe, and he would give us like random commentary on our pins. Inspector, can I show you this? What the? Is that a fabled Imperial Yumi University pin badge? I'm not sure if it's really fabled exactly, but... So, you are a genuine student? Sorry? Nothing like me, with my regular school. You are something much greater. Is that what you're trying to say? Can I have my badge back, please? Before you try and sell it on the black market or something like that? Yeah, okay. What do you have to say about this, though? Like, this can show you that... Like, okay, just like Susato said, this isn't conclusive evidence and such. But it buys us some time, and it can buy us some liberty to investigate. Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, isn't it? That's right. To try to stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? You know what? That's what I was thinking before as well. Like, okay, you're trying to get across the message that, hey, do not look inside the wardrobe, but if you're gonna write it in Japanese, what if these people don't know Japanese? Like, it would be better if you wrote it in Russian, or at the very least, if you didn't know Russian, you could write it in English. Or, you know, you could just tell, the crewmates, like, like personally, like the steward would go inside and you talk to them, Kazuma, like say that, hey, as long as you clean this room, do not go inside the wardrobe. Yeah, like you can just tell them personally. The reason why I was thinking that maybe the reason Kazuma wrote that on the wardrobe wasn't just to tell the crew members, like that is one reason, but maybe, just maybe, I don't know if I actually talked about this possibility before, that maybe the reason why Kazuma wrote it like this specifically, it was so that Ryonosuke would use this seal to prove his innocence. Like Kazuma would know that Ryonosuke would be in this situation. Reason why he wanted to use that seal so that Ryonosuke would use this as evidence to prove that he's innocent in this situation. Like, I don't know if that's actually what is going on over here, but, you know, it's a thought. It's in my mind. Maybe. But also that paper amulets like this are a part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. Wait, what? It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Hold on. Was that? When it made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. Oh, so you are basing yourself on the factor of it being foreign, thus it will be too scary for people to check inside, even if they didn't know, even if they didn't understand the message. I guess that's one way of going through this. I mean, I guess that actually explains like the problem from before of, oh well, the crew members wouldn't understand Japanese since they don't know Japanese, but apparently in Ryonosuke's mind, it wasn't necessary for them to understand. As long as they didn't understand, they would not check the wardrobe. Well, I guess so. I guess there is something to that. Have you seen this photograph yet, Inspector?
Oh dear. Are you alright, Inspector?
Nah, don't worry. It's just his quirk. Like, I told him to go to a doctor, and honestly, at some point in the past, I thought that he was being poisoned. But, nah, it's just his quirk. Don't need to worry. Yeah, sorry. I'm fine. I was hoping to hide my upset with a fit of coughing and spluttering. I'm usually very good at it. But, you know what? Like, I talk about this as if it's a quirk, like a funny quirk, but... like, you know... it also feels kind of sad at the same time. Me personally... like, you definitely don't hear this while I'm going through these adventures and such, but at times I do cough. And people do say that coughing is also a sign of stress and, you know, stuff like that. So, I haven't read about this that much, about how coughing relates to stress, like how it relates and all that. But if it's the case, then yeah, he can tell you some stuff about Hasanaga and how stressed he is. If that is another way of looking at his character, that it is also a quirk, but it is also like a way of telling you that he is stressed as fuck. Which it is a really sad thing. I'm sorry, Hasanaga. I'm trying to stifle my feelings. Seem to have stifled my cough this time.
It's also sad.
Asaki-san was such a promising young man. Empire had such high hopes for him. I had such high hopes for him, even though I'm just a detective. I'm going to miss you, Kazuma. Okay. What do you have to say about the stuff in the newspaper? About the villain Bolshevik? About the missing girl? The ballerina? I mean, you probably heard about this. Can I show you this newspaper, Inspector? I'm sorry, but I cannot read Russian, baby. Oh, yeah, right. Oh no, that's alright. I know what it says. So you just wanted to point out your university-level linguistic talents, is that it? Sorry? Nothing like me, with my regular schooling. You're something much greater. How old is Hosanaga again? He's 29. I guess for a second I thought that he was still in school, like Ryunosuke. Like how old was Ryunosuke? He's 23. I would assume that Ryunosuke is under the same age. Is that what you were trying to say? Sorry, I forgot I mentioned it. Okay, so well, that was useless. I guess in that case, same thing goes for this. What about this diary? A diary Kazuma's keeping of his trip to London. According to the last entry he made before his death, he spied what appeared to be a speckled band. Okay, well actually this could be good. This diary talks about the speckled band, which is like an adder, like a snake, like a sneaky snake, and such. Like similarly to how Sholmes was moving from the desk, like on the floor, like a sneaky snake, and then he spooked us. But here it talks about the speckled band, and if we were to tell Hosanaga about the possibility of there being a snake, like on this ship, that would give Hosanaga like a pathway to tell the others, hey, there's a snake around here, so maybe we should check the other cabins. And that way, Hosanaga or us, we would be able to investigate the next door cabin. So this could help us. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? That is strange. Yeah, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd look to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator isn't.
You're very astute, Inspector. The ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin.
That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I cannot leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. Really now? The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. Oh. Okay. I have to entrust the investigation to you.
Really? You're willing to do that?
Yes. As long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can only remove those handcuffs, though. Okay, well, that's good. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I will lay my life on the line, if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Okay, well thank you, Hosanaga. Thank you.
Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just let it move, and we can leave this cabin at last.
Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Let me see if I can use these legs of mine to move. Like in a video game. Okay, well... Can we actually converse with this guy, though? Excuse me. What? I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigated a little outside? Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes. But it's not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking prison guard to help him escape? Very funny. We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping. Yet, you stay in this cabin until next port. Then it is up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay. Alright. There's no point trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure. You know what? Screw you! Screw you, sir. Like, we can't actually move right now, so... Ha! Take that! Okay. 9th January, 7:48 a.m. SS Beautia, first class cabin, passageway. I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this is quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yeah, indeed. Kazuma's almost being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in Steerage.
Really? Oh, that must be awful. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. And it looks enormous, even if he's sitting down.
The door next to him leads to a second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't.
I suppose. Like people in handcuffs.
Now, Hada-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. You've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Yeah, well, he stayed in just one room for all this time. It's not like he was outside to look at the sea or something. Well, yeah, I know. But the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe.
It must have been a very trying time for you.
Please don't give me that pitying look. Well, we are here. We are here. We're definitely here. So, hey, look at this. Like, what is this? Is this a mouse trap?
Ah, a trap for catching mice.
Mice. Mice. Well... mice can go in ventilators, that's for sure. They surely do not do whistling sounds. Yeah, we have plenty of those back at home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Like, what the hell is that? It looks like cheese, but...
Let me see. Yeah, I think that's what it's called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
cheese. I wonder what that tastes like.
You cannot eat it now, Hara-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers.
Really? But... I suppose you're right. I guess so. I guess this is interesting to see this little thing about the whole cheese thing. I guess people, like Japanese people, didn't make cheese at that point in time.
You weren't actually going to try it, were you?
All I had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. I don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe.
Oh, poor you. I found a little snack for you later.
Alright, well, thank you, sweetie. Okay, well, yeah, there's that. I guess we are having, like, mice problems. That is definitely something. First class cabin number 1. Yeah, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's.
Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home.
These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in storage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there?
Well, no, like the number on the door doesn't necessarily mean that there are that many rooms in the first place, Cosma. Like for example, for hotels, like the 500 number would mean like the floor you're on. Although I cannot say for sure what 539 means in the context of a ship, though. Like what each number represents. 9 definitely seems like the last number, and it's like at the end of the quarter. There's this. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? It's a bell. It's an alarm.
That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
Oh, an alarm.
It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Oh, this I have to...
What are you doing, Naruto-san? You mustn't touch it.
But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs.
You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring the vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
I wish everything would just stop. This ship included.
You had to do something foolish. At least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else.
Okay. It feels like, okay, this isn't fully what you can imagine right over here, but remember when I was talking about how, before with Ryunosuke and Kazuma, they are similar to Edgeworth and Nick? The same thing can be said over here, except Susato would be the voice of reason that is Nick, and Ryunosuke would be the one that is goofing around, doing his thing, like Maya. Okay. Oh, I probably should have checked everything else. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yeah, the ventilator from which Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh,
Hello.
excuse me, we need to get inside this cabin here. As I speak volumes. You're clearly saying keep out. And that's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective.
It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass.
Well, that's a problem. Okay, well, how can we make him move? I wonder. Ship section. This looks like a plan of the SS Beauty. It shows each leg, though. Look.
The Beauty is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering!
It's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruto-san.
It is?
Well, consider the Japanese archipelago.
The islands of Japan?
Yeah, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them.
I suppose so. Okay. Susato's such a smart cookie. That's a huge book on top of the table there. And there's a pen next to it. Ship protocols.
Yeah, that looks like the ship's log.
Shall I have a little look through it? Yeah, you definitely cannot read Russian there.
Their writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You don't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such a beautiful handwriting. Handwriting. This feels like such an important thing for this case. Like, this case really emphasizes the importance of handwriting. Nothing. No reaction at all. I thought he might appreciate a compliment. That's what he said. And he said, thank you.
I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment now, Hotasan. Even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank.
I mean, that means that there was nothing to report. I don't know. Like, people definitely went here. Okay. Hello there. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. Oh, that wasn't a good start, was it?
Alright. Let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you?
You little first-class lady's maid?
Oh,
We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Satsun. I'm not a sailor. My mother gave me a name. I am senior crewman, Biff Stroganoff. Beef strong. Well, and the best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first-class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Beauty steamship. For very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. Somehow let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in an ocean. The Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you.
if I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied?
I assume that is a da, which would be a yes. Sasan, did you understand that?
It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no.
Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. It sounds like there's somebody in the next door cabin at least.
Yeah, it's tantalizing.
Okay, well this actually sucks. We are not gonna be able to investigate yet that room. Are you on watch here all the time? Seaman Stroganoff? Yeah, all the time. So criminals like you cannot come in. Or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. I don't know. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Susato-san, did you understand that? I don't know about what he said, but the reaction that he had over there, he can speak volume, just like his gaze.
It was clearly a no.
I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. I didn't hear any strange noises, or sense anything was wrong in some way. I said no. Jeez, sorry, never mind. I was just asking. I was just asking. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Yeah, you know, I don't know about that one. I do have to ask you about some stuff. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asagi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Royal. He is a very important Western gentleman. Mr. Grimsby Royal? Rollo? A Western gentleman. Now think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. Well, how can you be so sure about that? Mr. Rollo is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in a lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. Oof. Oh, that was harsh. Quite prejudicial.
Could you tell us when Mr. Rollo came aboard?
That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Cosmo cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin. I don't even feel like there's anyone there. I guess it kind of depends on how much you can hear.
Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right?
That is not your business. This is enough. I will not say more now. Oh, it's time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yeah, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain. Or, as the English say, when the pigs fly. Yeah, I understand. I wonder if that is a Russian saying.
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly. Shall we?
Definitely. Yeah, there you go. Who says that we cannot investigate the second... Well, I mean, there is somebody there. We can definitely ask them some stuff. But, ship protocols. Is there something new here? That book on top of the table there is very huge. Maybe, like, okay, it isn't checked. That means that there's something new over there. My guess is this, since this said that there was nothing to report. That way, it would make us question what has been said about last night from that guy. Let me see. Or not. I guess there's no new detail.
Is something wrong?
I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me.
I may be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that birdie seaman would surely shoot you dead.
Ugh.
Oh dear. I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there.
Now, I started with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Cosmo's death remains a mystery anyway. Yeah, you better not. You better not, Ionosuke. This is your story after all. But, okay. Now this is it. This is the cabin next door. Knock, 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 knock! Pizza delivery!
No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
How annoying. What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman.
Oh. Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down. Shams to the rescue!
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. Door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular arch? What prey can I kick?
Oh, I mean...
If you want, you can kick Ryunosuke in the face. Wait, what? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Alright. I better not find, like, anyone, like, stabbed and pinned to a pillar with duct tape. But... Who are you? Oh, Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. Okay, that's stereotyping. Wait, we heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True. This old man does appear to be the only person here. I don't know. But in that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Rollo, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. And uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But it wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open the small traveling case? Oh my god. Is there truly a person that can fit inside that? Someone who may be able to challenge Ryunosuke and that sort of stuff? Someone like Ryunosuke would definitely be good as an assistant for magic shows. Huh? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me.
Oh my. Did you see that, Mr. Okuda-san?
Oh my god. Can it truly be that there's a person inside? Or... Speaking about rules of there not being weapons and pets allowed on a ship, it kind of makes me question, doesn't it? Yeah, the case just shook. Leave, now! Otherwise I'll call the steward. Oh, and what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cut us to death? Actually, that sounds horrible as well. So this is Kasuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Rollo. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that Brutish sailor returns.
Yeah, you know what? Let me see about some stuff around here. First off, look at this. What do you think you're doing?
Huh.
Hey, there's there's Sholmes over there. Being all comfortable in the wardrobe. This is my cabin. Get out!
Can we just have a look inside your traveling case, perhaps?
No!
What a pity. I think we're out of luck.
I think you're right.
There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree. Well, there may be someone else who can help.
Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Rado. The one great detective over there that is sleeping inside a wardrobe as we speak. Hey, Sholmes, my man. Just grabbing his shoulder like me and Sholmes were best friends. Like great detectives. Oh, do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe while I was waiting. Waiting for an inevitable time. That you would need to call my great powers of deduction into service.
Oh my god!
And he's saying that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. It does have like a newspaper, like right there. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Rado, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Well, same case can be said for everyone else, but... Yeah, like, you have a point. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right? Can you imagine how the Russian would react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh yes, please!
Well then, what you're about to see may well astound you. Okay, there you go. Here's where we get to see the true Sholmes with his deduction skills right over here. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? Sure. From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of this Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? Or could he be both? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone.
That's right. And Mr. Sholmes, I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting. But I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases that judgment.
Shh! I must have complete silence. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yeah, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Rollo, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. A villain? Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Well, by existence, maybe you mean like, I don't know, maybe trying to cut the hair of your pet? Or to shear them or something like that? I don't know. And number two, You're the conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. a.k.a. Hiding a pet inside a ship when you shouldn't be. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Urgh.
Oh, Naruto-san. I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes.
Oh, indeed. It makes you swoon, doesn't it? That was a great deduction.
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What an ineffable twaddle. Well, those are some interesting choice of words there, Udonosuke.
Yes, I've read about it countless times in the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, and I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand.
There is also a plate on the floor. It does me think of the pet theory, because you would leave like a plate of food on the floor for your pet to eat.
This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all color has drained from Mr. Rollo's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. Hold on, let me see about this. Tri-identity of a villain. Committing a most grievous crime. Well, I guess there is something to be interpreted about what he said. Like, yeah, what he said can be true, but it may not be what you're thinking, Udonosuke. How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning.